My name is Dana Humphrey, and I'm based in New York.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Herstory TV and the Herstory podcast. This is Gertrude Matcha here in beautiful Wellington, New Zealand, and I'm graced with the presence of yet another fascinating lady coming to us all the way from the US. Welcome to our tribe, Dana.
Thank you.
Give everybody your full name, where you're based, how old you are, and share your story with us today.
Okay, great. My name is Dana Humphrey, and I'm based in New York. I'm in Rockaway Park, Queens, which is a special little beach in New York City. Not a lot of people know about it. And I'm 38 years old. And basically, my story, I think I'll begin on March 14th last year. It was the beginning of COVID, and I flew to Guatemala to go to a retreat. And when I left New York, I thought the retreat was still happening. And by the time I arrived to Guatemala, I actually had the last flight that was allowed into the country. I took the last bus that was allowed in the country. And basically, the retreat was canceled. And I ended up living in Guatemala for 3 months with 11 other people, and I shaved my head. And during that time, I was really given a great gift and opportunity of space and time to really focus on what I want out of this life. And for the last 15 years, I've been a marketer, helping a lot of big companies make a lot of money and market their products and promote consumerism. And really, I got to get true on my desires and my life's purpose and my calling, which is to really help people. And so last year, on May 7th, I shaved my head, releasing the past, present, and the future. And I made a commitment to myself to no longer be a marketer, but to actually help people live their best life and, deal with whatever they need to deal with so that they can step into their dreams and desires. And so during that time, I launched danahumphrey.com. It's also lifecoachanddeathdoula.com. And basically, I help people with codependency to recover and reclaim their power. And I also work as a death doula, which is similar to maybe some of you have heard of a birth doula. Which is someone who welcomes babies into the world and helps the moms. And my sister is actually a birth doula. And as a death doula, we really help people who are transitioning on the other side. So we help add ritual and gratitude back into the dying process. So if someone is told that they have 3 to 6 months to live, and they're going to be living in hospice at home and being taken care of, that's a perfect time to call in a death doula. Someone like myself, we can come in, meet with the person, understand what their wants, desires, needs are, and help create the zone that they want for when people come to visit them. So when their family and friends come to visit them, some options that we can help create is like a gratitude share, where before bringing in like the stress and hustle and bustle of the day, the person visiting can sit down in the gratitude chair, perhaps take off their shoes and enter the room with a little bit more grace and flow and positivity. This is just one idea, but this is really what we help the dying person do. We also walk them through guided visualizations to help ease their pain. We're there for them. We hold their hand. We listen to them. Maybe they have secrets that they haven't told anyone in their whole life that they have shame around. We're a beautiful third party that, we're not their sister. We're not their daughter. We're a non-family member that can listen with compassion and just there for the dying person and their family. And they might decide that they want no one in the room. They want 3 people in the room, whatever they'd like for their last couple of breaths. We can help make sure that those wishes come true. And that's really what I've been up to in the last year, is really pivoting my career. I've been a marketer for so long, and I've been a marketing professor. And to really just take a leap of faith and step into my own dreams and desires to help people using my life force energy while I'm here.
Wow, you certainly have your work cut out for you right now. You know, the timing of what you are transitioning into is interesting. Um, Interesting as well about the cutting of your hair. I lost my mom on the 23rd of April last year. So I'm from Zimbabwe originally. And I
Mhm.
remember waking up that morning so emotional because I couldn't go to my mother's funeral. And I wanted to do something. I wanted something to change. I felt like slashing my wrists, to be honest. The alternative for me was to shave off all my hair. My poor husband woke up in the morning. He couldn't recognize me. But in Africa, we do shave off all our hair when somebody close to you dies for the
Mm.
same reasons. It's a transition into a new life without that person. So I'm sorry, I'm getting a little emotional sharing that with you. But
Wow.
you have your work cut out for you. And I think COVID has given humanity a time to pause, to really focus on what's important in life. You know, you were on the go as a marketing professor, you're selling products, services. Where was the change in you that made you stop and choose to go down this path? Can you remember?
Yeah, yeah. So there was another, there's always more. Um, I had also broken up with someone that was a narcissist. And I spent the last 3 years really diving deep into what that means and doing a lot of research about narcissism and really understanding what a narcissist is, and then having to turn the finger around, right, of blame and say, okay, what's going on here, and really come to terms with my own codependency and really heal my own codependency. And so that's part of my journey, is recognizing and being aware of my own piece in the puzzle of and learning to step off the victim triangle. And that's where really my desire comes, is to take all this knowledge that I've learned. I feel like I have like a degree in codependency at this point, because I've done so much research for myself that I really want to share that with others. And I know when I was lost and I was searching, there was a lot of resources about narcissism and not as many about codependency. And I think we're in an epidemic of codependency, really, where and I've seen this a lot in my work in marketing too, of how marketing kind of preys on people's weaknesses, and I want to turn those weaknesses into strengths.
That is just amazing. It's amazing how our life experiences help us to become teachers. That you went through everything you went through so you can empower, you can help the next person. So if you were to go back to the younger you, that younger woman who was in this relationship, what nuggets of wisdom would you give her? Because sometimes when you're in the forest, you can't see the wood from the trees.
Yeah.
What would you have wanted somebody to have shared with you, reflected back to you, so you could see exactly where you were?
That's such a beautiful question. You know, um, I had introduced my partner to a few friends, and once I broke up with them, the friends all came out of the woodwork, like, oh, I knew they were awful, I knew they were horrific, all these things. I wish there would have been some bravery to tell me those things sooner, because I had zero feedback. I thought everything was hunky dory. I really was in, but at the same time, it's like I am grateful for the experience, I'm grateful for the lessons that I had to learn the hard way. And, you know, in some ways, I think everything is perfect and everything's divine. And, you know, sometimes having friends be brave and honest in, you know, giving that dark feedback while it's happening can be really insightful, to help, you know, to help start to question what's happening.
Wow. Now, in the new work that you're working with helping people transition and cross over to the other side, what has been one of the most pivotal moments of doing that work for you?
I just love the different creativity and difference that everyone has. You know, some people think that they want to be buried, and then 20 years later, they have a whole different train of thought. They have a whole different belief system of what they think happens, and now they want to be cremated. Or there was one woman who wanted to have a glitter station when people would come to visit her, you know, to like step into joy. And I'm getting goosebumps thinking about that, you know, to just really like embrace and honor the last couple of days as like, yeah, let's celebrate. Let's like go out with glitter. So there's been some really beautiful moments too.
It has to be an honor to be able to be there before somebody passes. And right now, there is so much sadness, a lot of grief. Do you also work with the family to prepare them for the passing? Are you working on both sides?
Yeah, we're definitely there to support the family as well, as they're in their grief process. However, usually, you know, after the death occurs, we'll usually refer those people to other types of grief therapists to kind of continue with them on their journey of healing.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's we have to have pretty clear boundaries around, you know, when we start and when we stop, because
Mhm.
grief has no timeline.
No.
You know, it can sometimes it shows up for people months later, or you know, a while later once it really kind of sets in. So so you know, we are there for the family during the time when the person is passing. Um and you know, we're the dying person's advocate. So sometimes we take off some pressure from the family having to make certain decisions, because we're able to like really listen and really be present for the person and what they're saying, whereas someone who's in like a flurry of grief sometimes is not able to really meet them there.
That's amazing. So let's take you into your future now. If time was an illusion and your past, your present existed at the same time, and you could have a conversation with the older you at 120, sitting in your rocking chair, based on what life has taught you up to that point, what would you say to yourself based on how you're living your life right now and honoring yourself?
Mm. You're magic.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I think you are sprinkling that magic around the world too today. Thank you so much for this
Thank
interview.
you.
Wow, thank you to everybody who's tuned in today. The Herstory Circle is trying to connect women one story at a time, one woman at a time, to uplift, to inspire, to empower. Take time to pause. I think today's interview has been really pivotal, especially for me. that this life is brief, this life is short, and what matters is what you do from the day you're born till the day you die. And you get to choose what the end looks like. So think about that, connect with people like this, and check out In Style with glitter. Thank you so much, everybody. I'll be back again tomorrow with yet another amazing woman. Have a fantastic day wherever you are in the world. Bye for now. Thank you again for the interview.
Thank you.